Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Sirloin Master here and I'm going to show you how to create background buildings for illustrations for lazy people. If you are like me and cannot and do not have the patience to create intricate buildings for backgrounds, then you are in the right place. I will be using Paint Tool SAI here, and the best brush to use will be anything with some drag and transparency so we can build layers. In my case, I'm using the watercolor tool. The first step to it is, and I kid you not, to take a deep breath. Relax and get ready to spend some time on this. Do not underestimate the power of this step. Once you are relaxed, the second step will be to build a reference image. In my case, I'm using some photos of a random city in China from the point of view that I need for my illustration, cutting and pasting from different pictures in different layers until I get the result that I'm looking for. It also helps to desaturate completely the reference and to adjust the contrast and brightness so that you can see very well all the transitions between light and dark to paint over later. Also, keep the layers separate until you finish the painting process in case you need to make any adjustments, and just follow to step number 3, building blocks. Painting first the overall shape of each building will make the job of creating an acceptable cityscape much easier in the end. Block paint the darker buildings first to cut on time later, making it possible to erase overlapping lighter buildings or empty areas instead of having to paint them over the dark ones. It's useful to keep each row or couple of rows of buildings in different layers to make it easier to edit them if you need. Then it's time for step number 4. First, repeat step number 1 as many times as you need to, and when you are ready again, start adding the details. Using a less transparent brush to add in darker areas first, and then an eraser or a transparent brush to scratch off the lighter areas. You are painting shadows and lighting again, but this time with more detail. It's not very useful to paint every single tiny detail, since it may not even be visible in the final result, and you may risk getting the final image to look confusing, too crowded with details, unless that's the look you're going for. This step is the most time consuming, but it's important to take your time here, making sure that every building actually looks like a building instead of just organized rows of blocks. Keep repeating step 1 from time to time, as well as taking small breaks every 15 minutes or so to rest your wrist and keep you motivated to finish the damn thing. Now, I know you could be investing all this time into drawing lots of hair strands going everywhere, blowing in the wind, or you could be painting bright, shining, super intricate eyes and mouths, or even getting just the perfect look for the buttons and stitches on the character's jacket. But believe me, taking some time to create a nice cityscape when needed can really raise your artwork and make it more compelling and interesting. When you start to feel that the job is done, observe in shock and awe the beauty of the result and follow through to step number 5, intensifying the depth. You can break this into 2 parts, using multiply layers with darker, colder colors to deepen the shadow areas, and lighter, warmer colors to bring out lighter areas, and using an eraser with very low opacity To make buildings more distant from the viewer lighter, making the ones closer darker. Use broad and general strokes here to also rest a little bit from the intense detail adding, preparing ourselves for the final step. Step number 6, adding highlights. In my case, I have a thunderstorm scene to illustrate, so I had to add the lights to the windows and thunder reflects on the buildings themselves. But even if you are drawing a day scene, it's worthwhile to paint some sun reflexes and add some colors if you have any reflective surfaces on the buildings. Do not overdo this step though. It should be used mainly to give a more real feel to the scene, not to make it look photorealistic. Always take in consideration that a big part of the details that you put on the background will not be clearly visible in the final picture. So the best method is to keep your finished background in a different layer and then rework it if needed once you have finished the foreground. And there you have it. I may be uploading the final image to my DeviantArt, Facebook and Instagram profiles, and there you can check more detail how it turned out. Please follow me everywhere and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to support if you want to see more. Comment down below if you have any critiques, suggestions or questions. Thank you very much for watching and I will be seeing you all again very soon. Bye bye.